So what happened is that our Deen gave us the whole schedule, and our Deen Islam is given us a whole schedule. If we schedule the things around those things, like 5 times prayer, because what happened, we are the part of the solar system. We are the part of the solar system, and all these 5 times prayer are according to the schedule of sun. If you notice, if you analyze the timing of those things, then what happened if you schedule the things for around mosque, I mean around salats, basically 5 times. For example, hey, I want to schedule a party. Could be after Asr, between after Asr and Maghrib. Could be after Maghrib and Isha, between Isha. So you will realize eventually that you will have plenty of time. You have plenty of time if you do that way, because Allah Subhanahu wa Taala put the barakat in there, and that's how it goes basically. You know. So, but not many people does it that way, because I was in a small town for about what 8 or 9 years in Carbondale, Illinois, going to my college, and we had a small mosque there, and then we used to do the same thing. Hey, when are we doing our potluck? Oh, okay, let's do it after Maghrib, inshallah. It worked, you know. And now what happened? We are scheduling our events, but not following. We're missing our salats, and we are missing many things, good things. And we think, hey, we don't have a time. So that's how, I mean, it works basically. And Allah Subhanahu wa Taala put like a barakat in the morning. Have you seen a sun clock? Have you seen a sun clock? Like, okay, what happened when
the hour? Yeah.
Hourly, right? So what happened when there's a small amount of sand left, it start going fast, right? And when you have a larger amount of sand in that clock, it goes slow. Same phenomena is for our day. The day starting, so we have a more barakat in time. If you plan the activities during the day, then we'll have enough time. And then we plan all the activities at like after 10 o'clock in the night, right? We do have shadi is after 10 o'clock, right? We are going after at 9 o'clock somewhere. So that is the end of the day. So it's going fast. And then we think, hey, we don't have much time. So that's the thing I believe on. And I would recommend you to do that if you're not doing it. And yeah, I guess so. Talking about like the timing of the salats. Okay, let's talk about Fajr. What time it is? Is it before sunrise? Isn't it? Okay.
It is.
Then Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Okay, and then after Fajr, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala asks us not to bow down our head on the earth, on the floor. Why? Because sun is rising, and there are electromagnetic waves hitting the earth. So it's on the peak time, so you don't want to touch your body to ground your body to the earth. It will be negative impact. Just after the sunrise, what are we supposed to do? There are nawafil we're supposed to do. We call it what do you call it? What do you call it? Charged? No.
I think so.
Charged is not
Is
the
it?
one. No. Osama? फजर की नमाज के बाद जो नफिल पढ़ते हैं उसको क्या कहते हैं? Charged or Ishraq? Yeah. Ishraq. So we're supposed to pray 2 or 3 or 2 or 4 or 6 or 8 Ishraq. After the sunrise, after 10 minutes. Make sure you don't do sajda just right at the zawal time. No. But after spending, so what are happening? So it says so first of all, this is the order of Allah subhanahu. Oh, this is not the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the gift of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So because we love it, because Allah loves us and we should love him, and whatever gift he gave it to us as a form of salat, we should do it as much as we could in the form of fard, in the form of no. So after the sunrise we do isha. Again, let's go. There's another nafil called charged, and guess what is the time of that? Before the peak noon in the day, 12 o'clock. So you know how we are revolving around the sun, the timing of the sun, those salats. So, and then after the sunrise, 12 or 12:30, 1 o'clock, we pray another salat, which is Zuhur, right? So we're touching our bodies before and after, before and after, before and after to get the benefits, derive the benefits out from the sun, right? So think about that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us that how important, how beneficial the gift would be, and what arriving out of it. We don't think that way. Same thing, Asr is what time? Before sunset. Before sunset. And Maghrib is after sunset. After 5 minutes of sunset, right? Same thing with Isha. Isha is what? Before the Zawal, 12 noon, 12 p.m., midnight. Anytime before that. And the Tahajjud is what time? After the 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. I would say. So that's the complete cycle of our salats around the sun, timing of the sun. So that's how it comes, basically. But we analyze. So whatever happened, we have to have a belief that's a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we are doing it just to show our love and affection. But this could be one of the reasons. And this is very beneficial. If, for example, in marketing, if you go and sell something, what do? Tell them the benefits, right? So in our culture, we never tell the benefits to our to the orders of commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We never tell them the benefits. What is the benefit? No? Yeah, it's a gift. But at the same time,
if you need to take the phone call, by the way, you can.
Can I take it? Oh,
yeah. If you need to.
Well, it's gone to voicemail now. Okay, so this is what happened. So I worked on, I analyzed the thing a little bit, and I get the answers. Do you know what is if you go to? Have you been to Hajj?
Or no, Umrah? I've been to Umrah.
Okay, have you analyzed in Kaaba? You rotate anti-clockwise. You rotate anti-clockwise, not clockwise. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, yes. Azmat, please.
Speaking.
Hi, this is Claudia with National Shopping Fund.
Hey, Claudia, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Not too bad. Claudia, this just a quick question. What can we do to negotiate our camp charges? Like, can we do our own maintenance?
You have to speak with leasing on that.
Who's the leasing?
That would be Lori Capaldo. She's the leasing manager.
Okay. And the same, okay, I will call her and find out.
Yeah, so currently your lease says that we bill you for camp.
Okay.
But if you want to renegotiate that, then you have to talk to her about doing a new lease, I guess, or a new clause in the lease that states that you want to take on the responsibility of the camp, okay?
Because because I'm paying too much money, I realize, and on top of that, I'm paying the camp insurance as well.
Okay. Not a problem. So you can talk to her about that.
Alrighty, no problem. Thank you.
Regarding your lease, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Sorry, sir.
Oh, you're fine.
So where I was?
Talking about counterclockwise.
Oh, counterclockwise. Okay, yeah. So I was sitting and just thinking, hey, why not clockwise? I mean, you have to think. You guys have to think. People have to think, not to challenge the things, just to analyze the things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that analyze my things around you. Why it's happening? So why not clockwise? Have you ever thought of it?
I haven't.
You haven't thought of it, right?
What's the symbolism?
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I thought I analyzed. I said, okay. First of all, before I start this thing, everything in this universe has same phenomena for everything. Everything. For example, you were a kid. You were born. You're a kid. You were weak. You become kind of adult. You become strong, right? And again, you will be weak. You're going to be weak, right? And then that's it. You're done. Yeah, your life cycle was done. Same thing in the universes. Scientists says that there are like thousand and thousand galaxies created. They were small. They become big, and then they destroy. So, and the same thing. If you have a blister on your body, it doesn't give you pain initially. It's a small, it's weak. It becomes strong, you get pain, right? And then it bursts it off. So it has a life cycle. So everything get burnt, become strong, become weak again, and then just gone, So everything has the same phenomena, like our trees around us. They do the same thing. In springtime, they have the leaves, seeds and leaves, and they like very beautiful, they become strong. And then destroyed and fall. They have a life cycle, leaves life cycle. Same thing with the trees. They die. We don't observe, but they die. Mountains die. So everything has the same phenomena.
Mountains die.
Mountains die. Yeah,
And then think about
about Uhud Pahar in Medina.
it died.
He used to weep
Mhm.
when Prophet ﷺ used to migrated to Mecca from Medina. He used to weep, and he used to love Prophet ﷺ that much, and that is why Allah Subhanahu wa Taala told us that this mountain would be in the backyard in the heaven of, in the house of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. That Uhud would be there. So that's let's back to the why we don't do the clockwise. Okay, scientist says I don't know, true or right. The Makkah is the center point of Earth, right? So center point of Earth means it's a nucleus of the Earth, right? And our body consists of what? Atoms. Chemistry says, physics says our body consists of smaller particles called atom. Atom consists of what? Atom has a nucleus and then has like proton and neutrons and electrons. Atom. And this is our body. And all these three particles revolving anti-clockwise. Not clockwise, anti-clockwise. Okay? And all the universes move around their suns anti-clockwise. Our planets like Jupiter and all those, they move anti-clockwise around the sun. So what are we doing? We are going there, neutralizing ourselves, discharging ourselves from stress-wise, whatever-wise, plugging ourselves to the nucleus and rotate anti-clockwise in a car, in parallel to all the other species in this universe. We become neutral. Wow. You don't have to buy. This is my theory. You don't have to buy.
That's funny.
This is what it is. So yeah, that was amazing.
Have you always been a religious person in your life?
On and off. Like Salat, I used to pray when I was a kid. On and off, sort of thing. But my thinking was, always humble, always towards religion. Yeah. So, yeah. And I don't know what is the reason behind it, but it does. So I don't know. So
tell me the story of how you came to America.
That's an interesting story. That is, and I'm telling you that how it goes to my appearance. I look a very big fool. Apparently. I don't know. Now, what do you think about my appearance? But I look fool. Because the reason because I don't look smart. A sharp person.
I wouldn't think that. I would think you do look pretty smart.
Some people think, why? I can give you an example. Okay. I never wanted to come to America. I never wanted to come to America because I believe if you're able to do anything, you can do anywhere in this world, right? But people think, no, you have to go to America to do something. No, if you have a skill set, if you have a will, you can do anything anywhere. You can make money anywhere, right? So I never wanted to come to. My brother pushed me, hey, go ahead and apply for the admission, and I said, okay. I went to my friend. He was doing the business of sending the people outside, for education. So I asked him, hey, do you have any application form of any university anywhere? He said, yes, but I have Cyprus University in Greece. You can go there, and I have a SIUC, copy. You can fill it and apply. I did it half-heartedly. I filled out form and attached my documents. Send it to them. I get my I-20. I get my admission, which is I-20. I got a form from SIUC. Then I collected all the forms, all the requirement. I did that, and then I went to consulate, American consulate in Karachi, and I found my way to get in. Because I know how to do the things. I found a person who was a driver there, who was a driver of the consulate, of the consulate. I said, hey, there are big lines. People are there like 2 a.m. and they have started a big line to go and submit the application. I don't want to do that. I'm not that interested. He said, okay, come at 8 o'clock, ask for me, and I'll get you in. So I went in through him, and I started to submit my documents, whole package to the person. He was Desi, of course, on the window. And he was looking at me in a very strange way. He said, did you bring the photocopies of this? I said, no. He literally said, I mean, you don't know how, you're supposed to make a photocopy of this, and you're thinking you are going to America. So, well, okay, I'll go and get a copy for you. I said, okay, go. So I bring it, and in the meanwhile, in the whole conversation, there was a peon, there was a guard. He was standing there, and he was keep staring at me, funny, sarcastic way, Never said anything to me. So I said, okay. So I came back, gave him the photocopy, and then after half an hour, they called me for the interview. A couple of questions here and there asked, and they said, okay, they give me a token. We come back at 4 o'clock to pick up your passport. I said, okay. I went there, did my lunch and everything, and then come back at 4 o'clock and stand in the line where you're supposed to pick up the passport. I did. Yeah, go ahead, please. So I did that, and then the guard came to me, and he had no trust on me. Also, he said, "You look stupid. What are you doing in this in this line?" Because he knew that this is for the visa line. So, well, they gave me this token. That's why I'm here. Oh, okay. So I got my visa that way, by proving that, hey, I don't know anything. So that tells you one thing, which I believe very firmly. Don't run after anything. Don't run after anything. Either would be money, would be girls, would be anything. You will not get it.
Why does that story teach you that lesson? Explain the connection.
Because I was not interested to coming to America. I was doing it half-heartedly. Hey, it doesn't matter if I get it or not. And I'll tell you what happened to me after that. I took that via passport and I called my father because I know that his answer was, said, okay, Papa, I got the visa. What he said? Well, okay, congratulations, you get the visa, but you know that you're not going. I said, well, doesn't matter to me. because what? He has no money. He has no money to give it to me. So I said, okay, that's fine. Works for me. So what has so this is kind of how I end up here. In Chicago, and then I went to Carbondale, Illinois, which is like about 4 hours down south from Chicago.
And what years was this?
It was back in December '87.
Wow.
I enjoyed the new year in Chicago, downtown.
Yeah, so it's an interesting time in America, '87.
Yeah. So it was a good time, and then yeah. So I had a hard time. First year, very hard time. So I did half of the semester, which whatever I have money, I paid it to the university. I said, okay.
So how did you get here if your father had no money to give you to come? Okay. What happened?
What happened? That's a good question. So what happened? We had a meeting. Okay, the brother who pushed me into this, and he was on job. He was at job in Saudi Arabia. Yes, and the other brother was in Dubai. So they both laid off. They were in Pakistan, Karachi. So my dad called the meeting. Said, okay, this is what happened. He got the visa, and now where's the money? So my brothers kind of come up front and they said, okay, we'll support for first semester and airfare. I took that money and then I come here. I did my half of the semester. I dropped the rest of the courses. I have no money for the rest of the next year, next semester, right? So I came to Chicago. I had a very bad roommates. they were discouraging me from here to there. Oh, and then I used to. Have you seen Devon? Right? Have you seen Devon?
Yeah.
I used to go up and
Chicago's Hillcroft.
yeah. I used to Chicago's Hillcroft. So I used to go up back and forth on Devon to find the job. Give me a job. Nobody was able to give me a job. So, and I said, oh, what I'm doing. I used to sit literally in front of the Lake Michigan. I used to think, what I'm doing here. I don't have money. What do I do? I used to call back to my parents. Hey, what do I do? So, literally my father says, okay. And that's how I learned my life. Okay, beta, we have done whatever we could for you. Now this is your life. You can marry someone there, or you want to come back, you can come back. It's up to you. This is your life. You have to deal with it. So that is the thing, that, and try to understand me, the life. No one is there for you except God and your parents. That is it. Nobody is there for you. Then I realized, and then I got a job there at my first Irani restaurant. I was a busboy. Used to clean up the plates and all this. I've done it for 3 or 4 months, and then I moved to a fast food place, night shift. And then the manager said, okay, go ahead and clean the parking lot, 4 a.m. I said, what? I said, okay. I went out there.
And in the Chicago cold.
And I picked up the garbage, and I said, what I'm doing here? If I drop my college, if I don't take the, complete my degree, I'll be doing this thing rest of my life, which I never wanted to do. Probably I'll be driving cab for the rest of my life if I don't complete my education. So those other things teaches me, hey, go back. And then when I make the firm belief, and then I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He helped me. He helped me. And I was able to get my green card for some reason, for somehow. No, I never get married. There was a scheme, farmer scheme at that time. If you worked on the farms for that period, you can apply for the green card. I did that, and luckily I was able to get the work permit. As soon as I get the work permit, I went to the Umrah, and then I went to Pakistan, give them the surprise visit, because they were hearing about my bad things, I cannot do. But now they saw me, and then they were shocked. Hey, how did you manage? I said, well, here it is. And then I came back, I started my college, and I lost 1 year. Yeah, started my college, finished my master's, and then come back and start working. This is my whole story. But I learned a lot, that there is only Allah and your parents. That's it. You have to do your own. If you look towards other people, you will hurt yourself. Sometimes they help, but most of the time they cannot. They don't. So whatever you want to do, do it.
That reminds me of something I heard one time, which was the mark of maturity, or the moment you realize you're really an adult is when you find out that your parents don't have the answer for you anymore. And that is what happens in your story, where they said, hey, we can't, it's on you now. Do what you have to do.
There are many things. I mean, religiously, our parents don't know many things because they did not do the research. They did not analyze the thing. They did not open the Quran. When we talk about Quran, have you seen many people in our massages, when they are 50s and 60s, they start open the Quran, right? They go to like translation sessions, they go to halakas and all this. But the Quran is instruction to how to spend your life, right? And we open the Quran after we spend our life, at 60s. So what's the point of now opening the Quran and understanding it, right? It was a manual given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to spend your life. We don't do that because we don't realize it, because we got it as a gift from our parents. Yeah. So that's why most of the parents don't have too much knowledge about Deen.
What I meant by that part about they don't have the answers is the answers for your situation in life. At that point, then you have to realize, well, I'm really the adult now. I have to make my own decisions. Or what would you say?
I would say parents doesn't want to wear your shoes. They don't want to look from that angle. And they think, most of the parents think, oh, they know everything. First of all, they think that they know everything. And that is a very no-no thing. that hurts their kids. If they say, "Oh no, I know everything. Do this my way or highway." No, I mean, yeah, you have experience, and like I have experience in computers. I don't have experience in automotives. I don't have experience in medical. I don't have experience in how to spend the life in Houston. They have different laws. They have different. So if I think that, oh, no, no, shush, just do it follow my way. So that is the wrong strategy to me. And you have to start trusting, and you have to put your feet in their shoes to tell. So that is most of the desi, at least. Maybe Goras, that's what they do. This kind of a mistake. No, I'm right. You're wrong. First of all, nobody can be right. Nobody can be wrong. Nobody can be right. Nobody can be wrong. This is my opinion. You could have a different opinion, and try your way. Right? This is my recommended way, but try your way, and try my way as well. Let's compare which one is right. Most of the kids have the complaint. Hey, we don't have a proper guidance. Our parents doesn't trust us. That is the whole dilemma. They don't think open-mindedly. They just want my way. This is what happened. So, and this is why religion is very, very important in our life. Religion is the key. It teaches you the manners. It teaches you the etiquettes. It teaches you the ethics. It teaches you how to go for the things, how to behave like diplomatically with people. For example, there is a biggest question in IT when the people are hiring. They ask, "Hey, are you the good listener?" If you said no, I cannot listen. So they will fail you, because people wants to absorb the thing, to listen. Our dilemma is that we listen to half of the talks, and then we jump the gun.
Yeah.
Right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when you control two things, your tongue and the private part, you will be Jannati. And you analyze that statement from Allah, you will be in favor of this. If you keep two things, under control, you'll be successful. So that's what happened.
Do you see more of your father in yourself or more of your mother in yourself?
I would say both, but more of father side. More of the father side. The reason is that I realized at the last moment, I realized that my mom was very clean, like clean person, like organizing the things, clean air. But I found her at the last moment that was because of my father. My father needs to be more, he wants us to be more clean and more organized, and my mom was following him actually. But he never basically. So whenever I have a style of being sarcastic many times. I don't know if you observe. I do. So that's my father's style. One day, my older brother caught by police in Karachi, and then he called. Cops asked him to call his home. He called my father at 2 a.m. in the middle of at 2 a.m. he called, and then my father picked up, and then my bhai says, "I'm with police, and they are taking me to the jail." You know how he replied? He never panicked. He said, "Oh, it's going to happen." I knew that was going to happen one day. So he was being sarcastic. So that's what I do. I always do sarcastic way. If someone say, I have like bad things going on in my life, so I said, "Hey, this is because of you. You have done something wrong." I guess. I don't try to be sympathetic.
Yeah. Do you ever write down your jokes?
No. For example, if you are going to somewhere, any place, if you have a kind of a small pebbles, I mean, if you going the wrong way, you will, and if you look back, you will find out, hey, I have taken the wrong way, right? Simple as it. So if you're going the wrong way, you will find out eventually.
Explain that. I don't understand it.
There are always two ways of things, right or wrong way, right? But people don't realize they are going on the wrong way. They think, no, we are doing the right things. right? That's why I give you the example. If you go ahead and start walking and just select two paths, right and wrong, and start walking on the wrong way and throwing your pebbles, taking a step, throwing, then you'll find out this is the wrong way. It will twist this way. So that's I don't know how good is that example, but yeah, same thing with the money. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already assigned you the money in your life, already assigned you the money, that how much you're going to get. But some people, taking that money, going that way, the wrong way, although it was in their qismat, but they picked it up in the wrong way, going to the right way. So that's how important, we need to have a proper guidance, and we need to ask respectfully the questions, that what is the right way and wrong way. And we need to do the mashwara only to the people who are expert in that field.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you don't want to talk to your father. You want to inform your father, yes, that I'm going to do this, but your father should say, okay, I'm not knowledgeable in this field, but I can refer you to some people. And that's how I raise my kids. In any like, they ask me some questions, I said, okay, I don't know the answer. Go and talk to the alim, Islamic alim, and if you are curious about it.
Yeah,
So,
there's this book. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. And one
mhm,
of the lessons that I frequently remember is how one of the advices that's given is this man, he had a lot of money. He amassed a lot of money.
mhm,
And he was now interested in the jewelry business.
mhm,
So he gives his money to a
mhm, mhm,
bricklayer, and
mhm,
he says, "Go travel, to Phoenicia, Lebanon area, and
mhm,
go bring back some jewels." And
mhm,
then the guy comes back
mhm,
with broken glass.
mhm,
And now the guy that invested his money, he
mhm,
basically is upset because he lost that money because the
mhm,
people there fooled the brickmaker who
mhm,
wasn't experienced in jewelry.
mhm,
And so the advice that was given was, okay, that happened. That's a
mhm,
lesson for you now. When you're doing business, work with
mhm,
people that are suited in that field.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, you don't want to give like, you don't want to give a job to put the roof to a milkman.
Yes.
Hmm? He doesn't know how to put that. So you have to have the person has to have a building the roof, experience in the building the roof. So that's how it works. If you're making decision in your life, you should go ahead and go to the proper source.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say, from what I understand, you and me are similar in the fact that we have large networks around us. How do you distinguish between the right kind of people to be friends with and the wrong ones?
See, I was back about 10 years ago. I visited your house, the older house with your parent, with your grandpas and all this. And then your dad gave me a good answer. He said, a person, if he's doing something wrong, he knows from inside out he's doing wrong. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has built the feature in it. So you already know that you are doing wrong. Why do you wanna see the bad movies while your parents are not there? Because you know that those are bad, right? So you know that you have make the decision right there. What is bad and what is wrong, what is right, right? So same thing. So I don't know if I answered your question or not.
Well, the question comes from you
Hmm.
mentioned about when you first came, you had some terrible roommates, and
Yeah.
you don't, so how do you deal with those people? We just realize, man, that's just a bad person, and how do you move on? And maybe you've even run into them now that you're older in Chicago. How does that work?
Well, because all three of the roommates, they were illegals first of all, and then I mean, they were discouraging me. Hey, don't do this. I said, okay, I'm going to California. I have my relatives there. I'm going to California. They are calling me there. I said, no, don't go there. It's too expensive. Too expensive. You will die paying your electric bill. I said, wow. And then I said, okay, I'm not going there because I was not able to make the decisions at that time. I was not mature enough. But eventually, I went to California, and the success came to me, and then that's it from there. Yeah. So, but these people were not productive in their life. They were just eating, sleeping, and then just working. Yeah, and they were just driving the cab basically. And yeah, so that's, I guess. I mean, I would recommend. I mean, if you have a person who would come next time to as a, and if he does not know anyone, no friends, nothing in there, because I had no one, who I know. So always, if you want to be a roommate with people who are going to college or school, for your related field basically. So you will have a same atmosphere, and you will have you will learn a lot from there, because they are struggling too, you are struggling too. But the people who are already working and they are not educated, they haven't I mean, they don't know your answers. Like you said, kids says the parents does not know because they haven't gone through the phase. So I don't blame them, but hey, this is what it is.
Mm.
So that's why, I mean, they were not bad like this, but like, yeah, they never encouraged me for anything basically. But
Yeah.
yeah.
That's anytime I meet someone new, um, I try to look out for that.
Mhm.
What makes the person the right person to be around or the wrong person. And most times when I think back,
Mhm.
you might get the feeling when you first meet them, but
Mhm.
usually it's after the fact. After after
Yeah.
you've been friends or whatever, then you realize, oh, okay.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Xander,
Uh,
yes, yes.
yes or no is that's my feeling. You cannot tell about anyone how he
Mm.
is. You cannot tell about the creation of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. You
You
know,
can get feelings,
you have feeling, but it could change.
hunch. Yeah, you're right. That's right.
It could change. It could
It
change
could
because of
change.
the circumstances. Because he might change. For example, if you give loan 100,000 to someone, his intention is right, and he's willing to pay you back. But there are certain circumstances he was not able to pay you back. Sometimes people fight each other because on top of 100,000, they broke the relation, right? So it's really hard to judge the people. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala says, "Don't judge anyone."
Give him
And
99 excuses.
don't assume bad to with anyone, even though you are watching someone is doing bad to you. But always try to forgive and always try to assume good for him or her, because and then you will start seeing the impact in your life. Because if you do good with some other people Allah will do good with you. Even though the people are not. For example, I give you. There was I was reading, listening to that talk, that if your relatives, some of the relatives don't want to talk to you, right? Don't want to talk to you. That happens in a family. So what happened? Don't break the relations with them, even though they want to always say salam. Or whenever you just say somewhere, say salam. And if you found out that they are in need of anyone's help, so just trying to be helpful. Even you have to go indirectly through someone else. You know, instead of what happened to us. Hey, he is not saying anything. He's not saying salam. We don't do that. That's not the right way. But it's really hard. These things are hard. See, I'll give you a I give you a summary of my observations in my life. You could agree with me, you could not, but you have to analyze on each point. First is that the religion is a combination of three things, and you have to follow these three things. You will be successful, inshallah. First thing is love. Second thing is respect. Third thing is patience. Now explore what is love. Explore what is respect. Explore what is patience is, and you will come to the right path. No matter if it is young, if it is old, if it is whoever, start loving, start forgiving. Second thing is do the other respect, no matter if he's younger, if he's older, whoever. If you want to give like a donation or कोई सबसे पैसे मांगने आता है, कुछ खाना मांगने आता है, don't respect him. Give him the respect, because so respect is another thing. I can give you a whole story on the respect, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches how to do the respect for especially elders. Miraj. He went to Prophet ﷺ went to Miraj. He met certain prophets on each sky: Isa, Musa, Yahya, Idris, and then all the prophets on each sky comes to him to greet him. Right? At the seventh heaven, seventh sky, there was an older person sitting there. His name was Ibrahim, but he did not come to Prophet ﷺ because Allah Subhanahu wa Taala wants to teach us that okay, when you meet or when someone older is visiting you or you are going to visit, go towards them. They don't have to come to you because they're elders. So that's how on the respect, thing. So many things to talk about. So I guess that's the three things. So remember my three things: love. लेकिन लव के लिए अल्लाह ताला कहते हैं कि तुम्हारा ईमान उस वक्त तक कंप्लीट नहीं हो सकता है जब तक you cannot love my Rasul Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and me more than your parents, right? So love is the key point. Respect is something, and then patience, and then forgiveness is the part of the patience. Forgiveness is the part of the patience. And one more thing: if you do something good for anyone, if you do something, don't utter from your tongue, yeah, I have done something for him or her. Don't, never. And if you keep doing it, keep hiding that stuff, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you a success in your life. You will be very on the height in the success in this world. People will giving you the respect, no matter what. Even though people don't know what you have done, you will see people start giving the respect. That's the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewarding you. That's that you have done something for something, and you haven't tell anything to anyone. That's the way. हमारी एक मशहूर मकूल था, नेकी कर दरिया में डाल. यानी कि just do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Throw it in the river. Forget about it. And then because what happened, you know what happened, how the process worked? When you do something good for someone, they pray for you in the bottom of their heart. And then the dua would work. I can give you an example of that. One of the kid came from Saudi Arabia. One of my common friends, they said, he's alone, he's not coming. Oh, he does not know in Chicago. Could you, go to the airport and take him, support him basically. So all I did, I just, receive him. I took him to my home a couple of days, and then he had to go to somewhere. He left. I just guide him properly, whatever. But yeah, that incident happened. Forgot about it. And then what happened after probably 6 or 7 years on the Eid day, I was attending the party. One of the phone came from Saudi Arabia. So who's calling me from Saudi Arabia at this time? I picked up the phone and there was a lady calling me. And do you remember me? I said, no. Yeah, I'm the mother of. I'm the mother of the Zahur. His name was Zahur. And I'm praying for you. I'm sitting at the Janamaz. So if you did good something, you never know who's praying for you. And then that's the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if I could have done, I have supported this kid, I'll be just bragging myself. That kind of cut down your reward. But if you do it, Allah will reward you. Allah will reward you. And you will see the higher levels in your life. So that's pretty much these are the things I believe based on my observations, based on my experiences. I mean, you could follow those, you cannot follow those. It's up to you, right?
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Thanks for sharing that. That was insightful. It's something to think about for sure, and it's very positive. As you said before mentioning it, it's not easy to live by, but it's very positive.
Giving something is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the doer, he's the giver, right?
The giver,
right?
Yes.
He's the giver, right? That's his sunnah. And if he's giving you the ability or 0.0000000% of that ability to you, then he's using that you are able to give some food, some time, some efforts as a volunteer to someone, to the needy people. Hey, so you are the lucky person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses you, right?
Yeah.
And giving you that, sharing that skill set to you.
That is
And
true.
yeah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never brags, right? I gave you this, I gave you this, I gave you this. No, right? So same thing we have to act. If we don't brag, if we keep it to ourselves, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
What has Chicago given you?
Winter. You know what? I used to love snow. I used to love very much of snow when I went to California. You know, because that's the reason I chose SIUC, right? Because we used to have snow here in Chicago area. And then I went to California. I still want to come back. Then I applied to New York State Buffalo. Buffalo because they had a snow.
Yeah.
So now I'm done with the snow. I want to move to south somewhere. So
Yeah.
Chicago is a good town. It's a very good town as living wise, cost wise, and people wise. People are conservative, and yeah, that's kind of very supportive. You know, Chicago is.
When you first came to Chicago, was there still a mafia presence or no?
Which mafia?
Any of them, I guess. Or had it died down by that time?
I think it died down by that time. It died down. Yeah, I think it was in
still a dangerous city, though, right?
It was. It was in south and southwest was dangerous. Still dangerous, but some of the area, the what was that? Caprini Greeny was the most dangerous area in the world. It used to when I came. It has like a black neighborhood and all these projects. Black people used to, you know, they used to have firing on here and there. So yeah, at that time, but after 10 years, they just kind of redo the whole area actually.
Yeah, when I visited you last a couple years ago, I realized, man, it's a very beautiful city. It probably has the most beautiful skyline I've seen in the States.
So, yeah, oh yeah, that's the best skyline, and springtime is very nice to visit downtown Chicago and all this. So yeah. After I think New York has the number one skyline.
You think
Chicago.
so?
Yeah, I think so. But they are very. But New York City is New York downtown is really except certain spots. It's dangerous to go in. But Chicago is going that way as well. After the COVID, there are burglaries, there are all sort of things going on in Chicago now. So,
yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. This was a great conversation.
Not a problem. If I said something wrong, let me know. But whatever I said, just ponder on it, talk to other people. Let's see what they think about it.
Yeah, I was wondering, do you have any closing thoughts? Anything you felt like you wanted to say, you didn't get a chance to, or something on your mind you wanted to express?
No, but I can give you wish you a good luck. You know that,
Thank you.
And then whatever you're doing, just do your best.
That's always what matters. Do your best. Make it the best you can.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being episode 150.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Talk to you then.
All right. I suppose until next time, inshallah.
All right. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.